Hey traders, checking out of the stock market today, recording this video a bit before the close, but we've got a general idea of what the day held for us. Tesla bulls following through in a big way. QQQ, the savior for the bulls. I'll show you the moment in time momentum shifted. I put out a video about a TLRY trade review and scalping that I did today. That's on our YouTube channel, so check that out. So the S&P 500 continues its bounce along with the NASDAQ. We started the morning with a little bit of weakness, and over the last day or two, today and yesterday, I'm keeping an eye out for signs of daily consolidation. And so I'm watching for losses of the hourly uptrend. So the S&P 500 today, if we look at SPY and we zoom out to the hourly, yesterday we had an hourly higher low at 392.42. If that level is lost, we lose the hourly uptrend and the probabilities of daily consolidation increase. We break that level today by a decent amount, 80 cents, not a ton, straight into a rip to a new high. How do we prevent from being faked out? The NASDAQ has the clues. We know that if the bulls are confident, the NASDAQ is leading. If the bears are confident, the NASDAQ is leading to the downside. The NASDAQ, QQQ, hourly, the low is 335. The low of today held that support level by 43 cents, essentially a double bottom. We did not break hourly support. This is the exact same thing that we just did on the daily time frames. On the daily time frames, SPY broke daily support with zero follow through into a ripper back to the highs. QQQ held support. It's the exact same thing, but on a different time frame. QQQ must be leading the way to the downside if we're going to have confidence in a pullback and in daily consolidation. So how do we utilize this information? Again, on the morning, this is what we have on the morning. High of the day, big drop, 5-minute downtrend, and we're down over 1% from the high of the day to the low of the day on the NASDAQ. So I can't look at that information and say, the bulls are about to show up and rip to higher highs, but I can make a definitive statement that gives me clarity on direction. So the low of the day was hit at 1025, and for SPY, the low of the day was hit at 1025. So we look at that and say, SPY just lost hourly support from yesterday, QQQ key level 335 cents. SPY bears will not get much more follow through today unless QQQ breaks that level. That is 3 minutes after the low of the day is hit. Again, I'm not saying the bottom for today is in. I'm not saying the bulls are about to show up. I'm saying if this level does not break, we're not going any lower. So that level does not break, and the bulls then control the rest of the day from there. So that helps us shift perspective. We can say that if QQQ does not break this level, the market will go higher from here. And so now we've got the hourly uptrend on QQQ remaining our guide. And we have been in this clear hourly uptrend ever since our lows at 279. 279 was a double bottom. We have not lost hourly higher lows since then. Even this big pullback day, the previous day did not have any hourly consolidation there. If you want a bit more clarity, maybe you're finding it on the futures 4-hour time frame where we're setting higher lows as well. I am watching a potential rising wedge. Well, I'll show you what I'm watching. On the S&P 500 here, yesterday, an hourly rising wedge was standing out to me. And so I was watching this pattern, which broke bear. Was this the one? Bear with me. It was this one. I was watching this pattern, which broke bear with no real follow through. And now we're back testing and rejecting from these resistances. So nothing really notable there, but just watching for signs of lacking follow through. But again, if we don't lose the hourly uptrend in QQQ, we're not going to pull back. That has to happen. And so with where we stand right now, we've got a lot of space again. We can pull back 1% and still be in an hourly uptrend. So the QQQ hourly uptrend will be our guide, and we are following through from this tightening daily range, just like Tesla is following through. Again, pointing out how earnings were going to dictate the break of this range, and we're seeing big volume and big follow through from the tightest Tesla range that we've been in a very long time, finally breaking. When you look at the 5 and 15-minute time frame, bigger time frame setup is essential for understanding probabilities. So if we look at the 5-minute here, and if you just show me let's go to the 15-minute. You show me this 15-minute time frame, and you ask me, are you looking to short here? I can't answer that question because I need to know what the bigger picture context is. If you are within, write this down, if you are within a tightening range, daily range, 4-hour range, bigger picture range, and the 5 and 15-minute RSIs are way overextended, then you're looking to short because you're in a constricted range. And if you're going to remain within that range, you're going to top out real soon. If you are breaking the restricted range, the shorter term time frames are not your go-to signal anymore. This has been a coil that has been tightening up that has now broken. You got to step back and say, all right, let the bulls do their thing. They've been waiting for this move for weeks and it's finally playing out. And that's what we're seeing in the broader market as well. With the tightening multiple week daily ranges, this is where frustrated bears are attempting to short and nail the top every single day. Patient bears are saying, all right, we had a tightening range. I'm letting the bulls do their thing. Once they show me signs of weakness, then I'll get interested again. But when it's a bigger picture, I'm not going to repeat it. I just said it. You get it. SMH, higher low every single day pattern remains intact. Weekly resistance getting closer and closer. Every green day that we see from here in the broader market creates more space for the potential of a weekly higher low to form next time we do consolidate. So S&P 500, weekly EMA 12, still in a weekly downtrend, but from the top of this move, we can pull back 7% and still be holding the recent low. Doesn't mean we can't drop to a lower low from here, but again, probabilities shift just a little bit every little level up we go because it gives the bulls more space to work with. So bulls are keeping short-term full control at this point as long as the hourly uptrend remains. So Tesla, back burner watch, first 5-minute oversold conditions, scouting an hourly higher low, bigger picture, weekly uptrend, zoom out to the monthly, anything under 1153 is a monthly lower high. Just seeing if anything else stands out. Nah. Healthcare, strong today. Keeping bulls hopeful for the inverse weekly head and shoulders. If XLV breaks 132.04, we're in a weekly uptrend. That would be a big win for broader market bulls if our lead major sector bull sees a confirmed trend change. Because again, the NASDAQ, it's going to take a long time before we get a weekly uptrend. We've got to top out on this move. We've got to pull back a couple weeks for a higher low. We've got to see continuation for a couple weeks for a higher high. It's going to take a while to play out, but the healthcare sector inverse head and shoulders attempt is much more developed at this point. And again, of course, we're still looking towards the FOMC next week. If the bulls are going to trap more bears, if I'm a bull, what I want to see for continued follow through on this move, I want to see us top out in the next day or two. I want to see us pull back for multiple days. So bears say, aha, here it is. We're about to roll over. And then a bullish reaction to the FOMC to trap a whole new wave of bears. Essentially what we saw on the 12-hour time frame on the move that shook me out and suckered in a fresh new little wave of bears there. Bulls want to see that happen on the daily chart. But we'll take it one day at a time. And I am watching for daily consolidation. And there are still bear trades out there. Biotech sector had bear trades today. Cannabis sector bear trades today. But as far as the broader market as a whole, bulls still holding on. Financial sector also up at the highs of its bounce still. 3287 still being tested. This is not a clear enough pivot for me to call that a daily trend change confirmed. I'm still viewing it as the same bounce. So we will still need that trend change. But again, bulls just give themselves more and more space to work with for that attempt. IWM, daily inside bar, relative weakness today. And the financial sector is the weakest major sector on my screen, which is definitely a factor. Checking in on growth names, ARKK, higher high but no follow through. PLTR, higher high, no follow through, still at uptrending resistance. So bulls defended support. We didn't roll over and confirm these growth head and shoulders like patterns as the broader market is not consolidating, but we are still seeing bull breaks lacking follow through. So still keeping an eye on that. Snow but bulls are keeping the higher lows in growth names. IWM, relative weakness today because of the financial sector, but still a higher low everyday pattern. Biotech sector, inside bar. So here's the pullback where, again, there's plenty of opportunity in both directions for the biotech sector today. High of the day to the initial low of the day. That pullback. The leveraged ETFs went 5% down. Then on a bounce here, leveraged ETFs go 4% up. Nice little tightening 15-minute range. I played this 15-minute. I was late to the short side here, but I played this bear break for just a quick little flip. In and out real quick, and out quick because I was a bit late. We had already been pulling back for 20 minutes by the time I had made that entry. And the next time we bounce, we got an inside bar right now. So if the inside bar breaks bear, daily consolidation underway, and clearly relative weakness standing out today. SPY divided by, or let's go XBI divided by SPY. Red day today. Is this a head and shoulders? If I'm a bear, I certainly hope so. For the relative weakness to start standing out, watch this chart for the next couple of days. If that confirms, then the biotech sector is the place to be bearish. MARA, small gap down open and bulls in control. So yesterday, gap up for the bears, gap down for the bulls today. Surprised with the size of the bounce. Pretty nice control here, but anything under 1420, I would consider an hourly lower high. And I'm watching Bitcoin for a 4-hour lower high. But this is a potential daily bull flag. Riot. Wow. Very impressive. Bitcoin is not close to doing this. Bitcoin, where do we stand compared to the high of yesterday? We're not close. We had a nice 15-minute falling wedge that broke bull this morning. But you can see on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, we are nowhere near the high of yesterday. So for Riot to see a new high, it just shows you continued short pressure. Continued pressure being put on shorts. CCJ, daily consolidation underway. Best case scenario for the bulls would be to backtest and hold EMA support, set that daily high or low, and confirm follow through. The weekly range is tightening up. Dollar pulling back, helping uranium names bounce, in my opinion. Scouting a weekly lower high compared to 28.28. This is one to be watching sometime in August or beyond for when this tightening range finally breaks. Dollar struggling to bounce, potentially a daily bear flag, which all bulls want to see. Commodities, broader market. Gold and silver trying to bounce. Silver a little bit stronger than gold. So bullish candle up at the high of the day. Okay, that's great. Confirm a 4-hour trend change. So the bounce is nice. We've got space for the 4-hour higher low. Proving needs to be done. Silver trying for a 12-hour trend change to shape up. Has to break resistance. Oil, daily lower high set. Inverse head and shoulders watch. 4-hour trend change back to the bulls needed for the daily higher low to be shaping up. And natural gas, still extremely strong. Still watching for the weekly lower high, but no sign of it shaping up just yet. Keeping an eye out for a climax type move. 4-hour uptrend is our guide. EMA 12 is a guide. Very impressive natural gas recovery. Energy sector. Trying to change the daily trend. Bull break of 73.35 confirms the daily trend change and has us watch for a weekly lower high eventually, but the weekly bounce gets followed through if the daily trend change does confirm. And of course, oil would need to confirm the inverse head and shoulders to help the energy sector follow through as well. So overall, solid win for the bulls. They keep grinding higher. They keep frustrating the bears in the short term. We are still in weekly downtrends. We are going to be watching for daily consolidation to shape up, but we have to see QQQ weakness. QQQ divided by SPY continues at the highs in its breakout. All right, feel free to ask any questions. Make sure and do some good things out there. And we'll see you soon. Plant number 2 had some bigger ones. Got some reds and some golds in there as well. When the plant is live, it's a little bit easier to just pull up some potatoes. So this brings me back to when I worked full-time on a farm and spent entire days harvesting 400-foot rows of potatoes by hand. And you would come across, this is the seed, this is what I planted to grow the plant. And sometimes they disintegrate and the plant roots suck it all up. But sometimes you just get this rotting goo potato and a full-on handful. And that's a potato. So you can imagine it's not very pleasant. But fond memories of harvesting potatoes by hand. How much to eat it?